Hello, my friends. I hope everyone is doing well today on this beautiful Thursday. Today we have a very special guest with us, the American Greyson. I've had him here on the show before, but I thought to bring him back since the last time we had a lot of technical issues. So I wasn't even able to upload that stream, as well as there's a lot going on now in his life, particularly related to some of these like riots or I guess protests. So I'll let him go into that. Let him introduce himself. There's also a little bit of controversy surrounding him as well. So if you have questions, use the entry link. Let me just put that in chat here. Otherwise, I may miss your questions. And then I'll just jump right into bringing American Greyson on the show. All right. Minimize this here. Hello, American Greyson. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Awesome. All right, good. Let me know on the audience members if it's too loud or anything of that sort. Introduce yourself. Some people might not know you. I know you, of course. We go back quite a bit, but some of my audience members who might be a little bit newer might not. So why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, well, I'm American Grayson. I do a bunch of videos. I recently covered a big riot in Los Angeles, been to all the million MAGA marches, and I run Pure Politics. So I do a bunch of interviews on there as well.
That's right. Yeah. Are you still streaming for Pure Politics on Trovo?
Very rarely. I've had a
Okay.
whole lot of work to be doing, especially with all the videos. There's a lot of editing. I don't get a lot of time to live stream right now.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. So you can follow American Greyson, Pure Politics. You can find him on YouTube, Trovo, Twitter, anywhere else. Anything else you'd like to
Telegram.
plug?
Yeah,
Telegram,
Telegram.
that's a big one.
Telegram's a big one.
Okay, so Telegram, American Greyson, Pure Politics. Make sure you follow him. Right, that's what you do on Telegram. Follow. Anyway, join his Telegram group. And we appreciate you coming on, sir. Like you mentioned, you have this protest you attended, and was there two protests or just one? Like I thought
Okay, so
there
it
was two.
was
I
it
was kind
was
of
two of
confused.
them.
Okay.
I'll start from the beginning. So on July 3rd, there was going to be a protest against pedophilia in Los Angeles at the We Spa in Koreatown.
Mhm.
And this was facilitated because a man who says that he is a woman went into the women's spa, the women's only area with young girls. And this is where the big controversy comes from because there's little girls in there as well. And he went in there completely naked. His genitals were out. No, he wasn't, he didn't have surgery. So, like, that would have been a horror show in itself, but he still had male genitalia, walked around in front of little girls, and then made a big deal about how the women in there marched out, told the manager and everybody nothing happened, and the man who walked around naked made a big deal about it, saying that they are transphobic, when really they just don't want little girls, their daughters, to be exposed to grown men's genitalia. So July 3rd, there was a big protest against pedophilia, and Antifa came out in force. There was some street preachers. There were Latino, I think they were Catholics, Latino Catholics that came out, and they didn't get beat up because they were like a couple blocks away. But the street preachers got beat up. Some other people who came out who against pedophilia, they held their signs like "Don't invade women's spaces" because women's spaces are being taken over by these mentally ill men, and they got beat up as well. And July 3rd was just like it was a nightmare basically. There were people who went to the hospital. There were stabbings, and
Wow.
I released
Did
a
you
montage
did you see
video to
all of
advertise.
that? Did you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
like
I was
people get
there.
stabbed?
Yeah, I got, on my Telegram, I got one of
Huh.
the attempted stabbings on video.
Did you
So
like
I
turn this into the police or anything like that? I'm not sure what they can do, but
No, the police don't really care in Los Angeles for some reason, and, I talked with Tomas Morales, who does a lot of work covering Antifa and these protests. And he said the Los Angeles Police Department, they are pretty much trash. They're getting defunded. They have no morale. They don't really
Mhm.
protect people. They just protect businesses. And even then, they'll let businesses go depending on the size of the Antifa mob. And it's really the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department who are the good guys. And these guys were not out there July 3rd at all.
Man, that's unfortunate. I lived in LA for a while, and I do remember that the police were pretty bad there, especially stopping the riots back last year and in the summer. But it just seems like this is such a uncontroversial issue. Like, why would Antifa basically show up to support pedophiles? It feels like this is something everyone can agree about, that it's wrong for grown men to be flashing themselves in front of young women. I don't understand. Maybe you can illuminate like the mindset Antifa had that day.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was on the Antifa side on July 3rd, I mean, undercover, 'cause I had one of those surgical masks on,
Uh
which, nobody knew who I was before I went there, 'cause I think it was, like, my 2nd time in
Yeah,
LA,
it's a
so
good thing
nobody
that you
knew.
said undercover. Otherwise, people would have been like, "Wait, what? American Grayson's
Yeah.
Antifa?"
Yeah. But, I went there and I'm recording on their side and I talk with their
Uh,
people, trying to understand their perspective, and it's really an extreme form of mental illness, it's demonic in many ways. They see it as a transphobia issue, that if a man pretends to be a woman, then his penis is a female penis. No joke, this is exactly how they think, and therefore, it's okay to expose it to other women.
really?
So,
It's pretty
they're
ludicrous.
yeah, it's completely mentally ill. So their thoughts are, the other side must be Nazis, and they said this. They're like, they're fascists, they're Nazis, they hate freedom, like all of this stuff. And these people are trying to rationalize to me about how it's a feminine penis now, basically, and it's just, I was I was surrounded by mentally ill people.
I must. Well, I have to say, I give you props for being out there in the thicket of these demonic forces. They really do sound demonic, and I would be much more afraid than you, sir. I would not be in the middle of a bunch of like Antifa, especially if they recognized me or recognized you. That would probably be very bad, right? Given like
Oh,
the
yeah, the
violence.
second protest,
Mhm.
so the first one was just it's terrible. It was a complete nightmare. The second time,
Okay.
a lot of the patriots, a lot of the Christians, they heard about what happened the first time, so they came out in force. They came out, we had a prayer in the beginning, we had at least 100 people come out to protest against pedophilia, and the morning or the night before, Antifa came out, graffitied a whole bunch of places with their tags. They put up wanted posters of known right wing celebrities. I don't know if I was on there because I wasn't able to be on the Antifa side this time. It was already known.
Mhm.
But they put up wanted posters of some of the patriots as if these are like enemies of the state and they need to be executed. Because this is real. This is like a real war. They're putting out hits on people. They have people like this
Mafia
and
style.
yeah, this Antifa militant called Chad Loader, he tried to
Uh,
put out a hit on me after the first time. I find out he's been
really?
doing this for a very long time. Yeah, he tries to get people executed in the street. This is a very dangerous group of people.
How do
So,
like where do they put out their hits? Like on just
on
Facebook or
Twitter
on
on
Twitter?
Twitter,
Wow.
yeah. Twitter lets them do
How?
it. They let Antifa praise violence, they let Antifa dox people, they let Antifa make up lies about people, and they let certain individuals put out hits for others. I'm not the only one that he's done this to. He's been doing it to a lot of people, I've been finding out.
So they're calling for your death
Yes.
on Twitter, and Jack Dorsey's completely fine with this, but you like
Yes, and this is
go
all
right of
because
center and you get banned.
this is all
Wow.
because I went there on July 3rd. This is just because I recorded there on July 3rd that now that I have to be taken out. I can't be trusted to be over there recording for some reason.
Hmm.
So, the second We Spa protest, big turnout, a lot of Christians, they were not gonna get beat up this time. They were gonna stand together, and it didn't matter how many Antifa. They had Antifa coming in from cities all around America, which is really interesting. Like, I drove in from Arizona, but they had people who were, Portland veterans, like Portland Antifa veterans who firebombed the police over there coming in. They had some, like,
Really?
300. Yeah, it was they were still scared. You see 100 patriots walking down the street, it could be like 500 Antifa. These are weak they're just morons. These are idiots who have, no strength, and that's why they attack individuals, and they even though they have, like, the bigger numbers, they were scared to see that, "Oh, there's patriots standing together, and they're not ready to, not take all of the bullying that we're doing."
Yeah, if you ever have to deal with Antifa, never do it alone. Never be alone, because they'll always try to get like two or three of their guys, right, to try to corner someone all by themselves. I think I
They'll
saw
mob
that
on
with
you.
the street preachers, right? I think I saw something from that from
Yes,
your
and
Twitter.
you have to stand with the group because these people, they are cowards. They will not attack you if you're with a group. They're gonna yell at you. They're like demons. They're gonna say the worst things you've ever heard in your life. They're gonna blaspheme Jesus Christ. They're gonna try and goad you to leave the group so they can pick you off and beat you up. But if you stand with a group, if you have 5 to 10 deep, you could stand against 50 Antifa. These are not strong people.
Well, that's reassuring. I'm glad that you're safe. I'm glad that nothing happened bad to you, right? If I understand that right, you didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I got I got smacked one time at the first rally, but it was
How did that
fine.
happen?
I was getting real close with the camera. I was like getting some of the action, and in the confusion, somebody slapped the camera. It made a good clip. I put it in my ad for the upcoming mini doc that I'm doing on it.
Mhm.
But that's about the extent that I took. Some other guys, I mean, a great guy, Hyro. He's the little guy who got beat up on the first day. He was one of the first protesters out there. This guy organized the first protest. He has a lot of courage. He went out there. He feels really strongly about standing against pedophilia. So I was able to meet with him, and he's not going to let getting bullied, getting beat up, getting threatened to deter him at all from standing up for what's right. So I got a lot of respect for that guy.
Awesome. Tell us. I saw you met the guy with the dual wielding rosaries. That guy, right?
Oh yeah, the based Latino. Yeah,
Yeah. Tell us about him. Like,
I
did you
don't
see him the
know.
first day?
I saw him the first day. I was pretty far back when I saw what happened, and I mean, my observation from that was really insane because this guy, I mean, he looks like a badass thug, right? I mean, the dude's ripped, he's got tattoos, and then he's carrying a rosary, which is like, what's going on? I want to know more. As soon as the altercation happened, the media swarms around him, and it's just like, these people, nobody really cares about anybody else anymore. And for me, it was really disheartening that it's like, oh, we got to get the snapshot, we got to get the video. People are getting beat up. It's like if any of these journalists decided to stand up and do what's right, we could have like shut down a lot of the violence that was happening. But if we did, it wouldn't make good content. So that was really disheartening to see that, especially with the base Latino. And I don't know him very well, but from his story, apparently this guy was involved in some really bad stuff early on in his life, and he turned to Christ, and he saw what was going on a live stream on the 3rd. And he was just really angry because on the 3rd, they weren't just saying anti-American stuff. They were going off the rails anti-Christian stuff. It was just, that's why I described it as demonic. The main theme of this Antifa pedo riot was demons, is demonic. They're anti-Christian. So he came down and wanted to stand up for Christ, wanted to stand up for these people, said that, he stands on the right side. They decided to attack him for it.
Yes, I saw the first day. They surrounded him, and he had like the dual rosaries, right? And then the second day, I saw you you interviewed him, or you got him to say Jesus is King, correct?
Yeah, it was about the first one on July 3rd, and then it was about a week and a half until the second anti-pedo march.
Okay, they were a bit of time difference. Okay, I did
Yeah.
not know that. I got you. Wow, you came out to both of them. All right, very nice.
Yeah.
So you went from Arizona all the way out to LA. How far is that for you?
It's about a 6-hour drive, depending on traffic, because LA traffic, it could be up to 7 hours.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's farther than it is from me, so I should have gone if I had been
Yeah,
more
come
aware
out to
of
the
this.
next one. Everybody loves trilogies. We got to go out to flex on Antifa, say that we're not going to stand for
Okay.
pedophilia. The second march, everybody was pretty much safe. They arrested like around 40 Antifa. Only one of our guys, just because he had some altercations. So there's actually extenuating circumstances for one of our guys. But the second one was a great success. It was a total victory. And you look at the goals. We weren't there. We were not there to beat up Antifa. Okay, we weren't there to cause damage. We weren't there to kill people. We were there to make a statement that the people of Los Angeles and conservatives and patriots stand against pedophilia. That we do not like to have these men masquerading as women invading women's spaces. So, for the most part, the second protest was a resounding success because nobody got hurt on our side. The arrests all happened on the Antifa side. And our point was made that pedophilia is not something that should be tolerated.
Well, I definitely support your guys' mission and your goals. Whether or not I will show up is there's a lot of things up in the air. For one, I don't know if I want to be showing my face around there. Might get doxxed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I'm a little younger than you, unfortunately. So, and I think you're right now. You're employed with within your family or something like that, right? I mean, you don't
Oh
have to
yeah,
get into.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
I
got
also,
you have
yeah,
a good safe job. You have a safe job. Things a little more
yeah.
in the up in the
I also
air.
have that expat background, so there's always that.
True, you do, you do. I'm glad everyone was safe. That's good to hear. Tell us more, I guess, about what the objective was. Is there like a law you guys are trying to change? Is it just like just be a show of force and solidarity to the people who are complaining about these like so-called like these trans people coming into the woman's area, invading the woman's space, like you said? Like, what is the, I guess, objective? Maybe you could just elaborate on that.
Oh, it was probably mostly a show of force and
Okay.
solidarity, like you said. Because the first time it was supposed to say that we don't want pedophilia, and a lot of our guys, a lot of our patriots got beat up, and some of them got sent to the hospital. So that was something that the locals could not stand. And when I saw it firsthand, I was like, "This isn't something that I want to be happening in America either." So it's
No, I
just
don't
like to
think
show
anyone
these
wants that in
thugs.
America. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thugs every single time. Antifa looks like they have big numbers, but they bust people in from around the country. They literally bring in buses. This is
Really?
something
They're
else
just
that
very
yeah,
they're
it's something
well
else they're
organized. And this
yeah,
is
they're well organized, they're funded.
that's really
There's good
interesting because like a Joe Biden says Antifa is just this ideology.
no, no, definitely not.
Clearly
I mean,
not. Ideologies don't bring buses of people in into town.
yeah, seeing it firsthand to explain it, these people are not getting individual checks from George Soros, and that's where some of the disconnect comes from. Where Antifa will be like, "Well, where's my check? You know, I came out here for free." What they are getting is free legal help. They're getting free bails. They're also getting free transportation in some cases. There is a higher authority somewhere, probably the deep state in some way, and is the amorphous idea that is helping fund a lot of this.
No, I totally can see that happening for sure. They're
Yeah.
very well organized. They know what they're doing, and like you said, they're on social media, and they get away with these things. They get away with threatening violence and wanting to harm people. And were these people Nazis? Were these people like fascist? No, they're just probably your average Christian who has a daughter or who has young kids and who cares about them and wants to see them have a, to be safe and not to be exposed to these demonic influences, right?
Yes, 100%. These are just regular people who came out and showed up. And we hear a lot about how Antifa really likes communism, and communist has a lot of overlap with Antifa. But really, communism, this is a point I got to make, especially for their side. Communism is about class warfare, but being down there out on the street and seeing who's fighting who, they're all in the same class. There is some higher elite that is pitting people against each other. Like Antifa, they're possessed by demons. The Patriots, they're just trying to stand up for what's right. And from the Antifa ideological standpoint, I don't know what it is. Maybe they're too brainwashed. Maybe they don't have the intellect to do so, but they cannot look out on the other side that they consider enemies and realize that they're in the same economic class, same Marxist class as they are, and they just don't get it. They don't get that somebody above them is pitting the same class against each other because these aren't rich people. These are normal, hardworking Americans. And a lot of people on the Antifa side, they probably suck. They probably do drugs, but at least some of them have jobs. You know, it's an interesting dynamic going on with a lot of it.
Some of the Antifa people you're saying have jobs?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's how they afford to do some of the stuff they do. Because
Oh,
like I
okay.
said, they're not getting direct checks from George Soros. They're just getting legal help and transportation help, as far as I know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying there. Yeah, it's weird. It's they're very interested in class struggle, and then the group that they really need to be fighting against is all these the bourgeoisie and not not your run of the mill blue collar worker. It seems very counterproductive. It reminds me of a Stone Toss like comic when it showed like some like one of these champagne socialist types talking about they support the working class, and the working class is this blue collar guy with like overalls, and he has like a Confederate flag, and then in the Antifa person's like, no, I can't support this person. I can't shake hands with this guy. I don't want to be seen next to him. It's like a lot of contempt, it seems, for just like the middle class people,
Yeah.
especially just for Americans in general. Your average working class American is going to be probably a Christian. Is probably going to be someone who's very patriotic, and that's exactly the people who Antifa seems to be fighting against right now, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's why it was really disheartening seeing the LA pedal riot firsthand. I mean, the first
Mhm.
one, I'd been to Portland. I'd seen some of the craziness going on there. Yeah, they did kill people in Portland, but I didn't feel as in danger as I did at the LA pedal riot. Even the first one when they didn't know who I was thinking, at any moment these people, because they tried to kill that street preacher right in broad daylight in front of me. Like at any moment, these people could just turn on me because they're highly suspicious of each other. And it was a very dangerous situation. It was probably, I'd say, probably more violent than Portland in like the bloodthirstiness of them.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, that is. Were you at Portland? And
yeah.
you saw the
I
stuff
did.
going on?
One of my first videos was Portland.
Okay, you want to tell us about that? Because I maybe I've seen that. I'm not sure if I remember. So maybe you could just remind us of what happened in Portland when you were there.
Well, okay, so yeah, I witnessed some of the marches, some of lighting the fires, some of the attacks, and most of the anger was directed towards the federal police in the federal building. So, I mean, people like me with cameras, we could interlope through the crowd, we could get video footage, we could interview people, and for the most part, in the daytime, you could feel pretty safe. You're not going to be violently attacked walking around the federal building, and that's where I did a lot of my interviews in the daytime next to the federal building. But it was, so basically, Portland was a lot more focused on Antifa wants to fight the police, and they don't want to fight people who are there taking videos. I mean, some of them did, but for the most part, police. And then LA was, no, they're focused on the people more so than the police. And the LA Antifa really wants to beat up interlopers. They want to beat up people who are recording. They want to attack their ideological enemies, basically. They want to attack other people who are not part of the police, just regular citizens who they disagree with.
It's an interesting, like, that's a market difference that we've seen now, I guess, in Antifa strategy. Maybe they realize that going after the police is not going to work. Not that like going after Christians and patriots is going to work either. But how did the police react? The LA police. I know you said they didn't really do the good job. They really don't do anything. You said there were some arrests, which is good and to hear.
Okay, so the first event they were pretty bad. The second
Mhm.
event they were pretty good. So the first event they had pretty much nobody there, and the police stood by several blocks away and watched people getting assaulted. They watched the street preacher almost die, and they didn't want to bring him behind police lines in the beginning, even though he's bleeding all down his face. They didn't want to get involved. But as violence escalated, as it got more out of control, due to, I think, the defunding, they had to call in police from all over the city, and it's a pretty big city, to come in and pretty much quell this riot. So it got really out of hand on the first day, and the LA police didn't want to do anything. That's the impression that I got from them. On the second day, they were on the second LA pedal riot. They were prepared. They came out. They divided the two groups very quickly, and they had the LA Sheriff's Department there as well, who was ready to make arrests and ready to fight back against Antifa. Because what Antifa does is they'll have agitators go up to the police and try to smack them, and then run away back into the crowd. So they
That's so
they're
cowardly.
yeah, they're pretty bad people. They'll throw rocks. They'll throw water bottles that are frozen. They pick up smoke bombs. I got some video of them throwing smoke bombs back at our side because they're acting insane. So they got a smoke bomb shot at them, and then they threw it over on the Patriot side. So it was pretty much a more controlled environment at the second Antifa pedal protest.
Okay, and are there plans then for the third one? Are they working with the police this time to try to get
Nobody
like
knows if there
permits or
will be
anything?
Nobody knows if there will be a third one. I think that everybody likes trilogies, so there might be. It's very possible. And I just want to encourage people to show up because the second one was such a resounding success. Nobody was in danger. A whole bunch of arrests were made, and it's just about showing that America has a lot of conservatives that are going to stand up. We're not going to be bullied into hiding hiding our beliefs that we believe pedophilia is wrong, that we believe that women should have to go to spas with mentally ill men, and it's just about coming out and showing a support, like just having the numbers there. It's not about getting into a fight.
Yeah, we do not like rumors. We do not like pedophiles. We do not like transgender people or people, like you said, under demonic influence. I think most of the people watching this are with us, and I think most of America can probably get on board with that. It's only people like Antifa who are, like you said, under that demonic influence are gonna object to these very basic principles of morality. So if you fall into that basic camp, then hopefully if there's a third one, you decide to show up. But yeah, you should, like, just as a warning though, these things could get violent. So keep us updated as to whether or not they get permits, because I think that's really important. If you get a permit, then the police can kind of block off areas, and there's a lot more it's a lot more controlled. So if I don't know, whoever's organizes these things, if they can do something like that, let me know. And then anything else you wanted to say? Some people saying I'm kind of quiet. Anything else you wanted to bring up related to what happened?
Yeah, well, I'm working on a mini documentary. If you're on Telegram, I see a lot of the guys in chat who are really familiar. They probably know. So that's going to be out in the next couple of days, hopefully less than a week. It's a lot of footage to go through. And what I'm doing is I'm going to compile a timeline of what happened for the first riot to the second riot. And I'm going to name a bunch of the names, because a lot of these Antifa members, they are very dangerous people who think that they can't be doxxed. They think they go online with their little moniker, and they can even text people. They get people's phone numbers from the other side, and they text them stuff. So they think they're untouchable. And I really think that if they want to say I'm fine with being unmasked, because I do a bunch of the videos anyways, and I put myself in the videos, and they do the same thing, but they want to remain anonymous. So if they want to be out there, they want to call for violence against individuals, if they want to lie about what's going on at these events, then I think it's perfectly fair that I put them in my video and I name them and I say exactly why they're there and what they're doing. So that's going to be in the mini doc.
Awesome, yeah. Let me get you already released the trailer, correct? Let me pull that up.
It's pretty epic. It's a pretty intense trailer.
There it is. Let me play that for you guys at home, so you can get a sense. Let's see, where is it? What is it under on your Twitter page?
Did I post it on Twitter?
Is it July 3rd?
Let me check. I know I have it on my Telegram. Let's check out my Twitter real quick. Yeah, slight silence, everybody.
So yes, thank you, American Greyson, for everything you do. We need guys like you that are on the ground, taking the videos, getting the names, because these people want us dead. These people unironically want us dead. And that should be very concerning, and that is motivation for action. Not action towards violence. We don't respond like they do. We need to be prepared for self-defense, obviously. There should be action to be able to show up in force, show Antifa that we're not afraid of them. We're not afraid of Satan. We're not afraid of the demonic influences that are clearly motivating them and animating this movement. We're not afraid, and they're not going to win. And that when we stand together, when we stand strong, we can make a difference.
So I only uploaded it on Telegram, Facebook, and Instagram.
Let me get it through Instagram then. Hold on, everybody. It'll be just 1 second.
my newest post if you go to the profile.
American Greyson, that's your Instagram name, right? Yes, it is.
Yeah, American _Greyson. Yeah. So you guys listening want to subscribe.
All right, everybody. I'll play this right now. Let me just mute my video there.
From the ground, the full of direst cruelty. Come to my woman's breast, take my note for gold, you utter abysses, wherever in your
All right. Excellent job with the.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. Huh?
Yes, that was seeing the skateboard. That was pretty visceral right there. With the skateboard hitting the pastor, that was pretty visceral. Very, very upsetting, very frustrating that the police allowed that to happen. It just goes to show that the police are not always on our side. I know it's we think that the police, they're gonna protect us, right? Nope, they won't. They won't always do that. In fact, there's a good chance you're gonna be the one that gets arrested, or you're the one that's gonna get in trouble for not wearing a mask. The police are not on our side. So, if you go to these things, be careful. Just be careful. Don't break the law.
Yes, be very careful. Listen to people who've already been there. If you want to show up to one of these protests that turn into riots, listen to people who've already been there. Stay with the group. Don't get in front. That's a big thing. Don't get involved in the fighting.
All right. Any other advice you would give people since you were there and you stayed safe, you didn't get in trouble, so you're the archetype of how to handle these things, how to show support, show solidarity against these demonic forces like we've been talking about, and just for it's a basic notion that men are men, women are women, men should not be going into and flashing women. They should not be showing the genitalia to women. It doesn't matter if they think they're women or not. That's just inappropriate and gonna scar these young children, the most innocent members of our society, children. It's awful that the people would even defend that these Antifa people defend those kind of behaviors. Reminds me of when in the Bible when it says that if anyone leads astray one of the little ones, one of the least of these, like the children, then it's better for a millstone, this giant stone, to be tied around their neck and then to be cast into the sea than to lead like a child astray.
I wish we had that punishment, to be honest. That would solve a lot of these problems.
I think so. I think you're right. That would be pretty based if we brought that back.
LA is right next to the ocean, so it's very economical to do.
It would be, but yes. For the state, obviously, we're saying. We're not telling people to go out there and be violent. Just making sure we cover our bases. No one accuses me of trying to threaten people, anything like that. So, American Greyson, well, I want to transition here real quick. I want to ask you, thank you so much for talking about what happened at the spa. Maybe other people have questions. I think you covered all mine. I wanted to ask you, though, about this was something that I heard a critique. I wanted to get your response. I know you had this white boy summer, shindig, you had this white boy summer meetup in Arizona, correct? With a lot of these IRL streamers.
Yeah.
And I was unfortunately not able to go. I hope it went well. One of the critiques that came out because of it was that people were worried that they're going to get doxxed because a lot of these streamers you invited are always streaming. They're like IRL streamers, so they're always have a camera on, and so they were worried that their face would be out there for Antifa to find. So I'm just curious, how did it go? Was this a legitimate concern? I'll let you just answer.
I feel like I was in personal messages. I was pretty upfront with people that they were going to be on video, and pretty much everybody who did come, they've been on video beforehand. I mean, we did have some drama concerning the planning phase and some of the people who attended, which I think was their concerns were definitely noteworthy. But all in all, I mean, with the people who showed up, we had a great time. We had a great event. We made a lot of great videos out of it. You can look at the White Boy Summer music video that was made by Tomas Morales. That was a great video. And for we might be having an LA one. I mean, who knows? I was talking to people there, and they really liked the video. They really liked the idea. And it's like I said, to a lot of these people, White Boy Summer is not a white nationalist thing. It's pretty much all inclusive. You can join. It's put out there by Chet Hanks. It's like a fun little thing because he's a white guy. He's a white boy, and it's summer. So it's a joke. It's a joke basically, and people are allowed to have fun. But our event, it went off great, and there was some drama surrounding it, but thankfully everything worked out in the end.
That's good. Was there a lot of attention from left wing and Antifa forces on social media about this event?
I would say
docs or anything like that, to your knowledge?
Yeah, some people they got attempted to dox, and this is something that
Okay.
I've been noticing about the left is when they dox somebody, they just go to all their public information. They go to what's already on live stream. They go to what's already in CNN articles. So it's a really low level dox in many ways. But yeah, they some littler accounts, maybe like 4,000 followers, did some pictures. There was one guy, what's his name? I can't remember his name. There's a guy with a 30K who made a post, but he didn't get much traction on it. So yeah, there were some attempts to paint this in a negative light, but for the most part, it seems to have failed. They just use it in a way to be like the word white is in the name of this party.
Yeah. Well, totally agree. Let people have fun. We're just, we had a whole summer last year was like Black Lives Matter summer. Just let us have White Boy Summer, and we can enjoy white culture. No violence. No buildings on fire. No mayhem in the street. We just, enjoy summer. Go to the beach. We share memes. But obviously, yeah, the left wants to shut that down. It's kind of just a guilt by association as well. I have like just maybe as a recommendation, or maybe just I guess this is more of a question, but is it possible to have these IRL streamers not stream and just like have them talk to people? Is that like something you could set
Oh
up?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay, because
I
I
was
think
thinking.
more people would be interested in attending if like the IRL streamers just were not streaming, and so it was just like a meetup amongst people. I feel like more people would probably show up to these events if they knew there was no cameras in their faces.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I learned from the Lake Havasu White Boy Summer event. I mean, we did live stream some of it, but a lot of it we did not. So there's a lot of secrets that happened. But the
Okay.
if the LA thing happens, because there's a lot of energy around that, a lot of people want to make it happen. If it does happen, we're not going to be live streaming it. We're going to do some camera clips for like a montage video with one of our trusted videographers. But other than that, it's you're going to be completely fine. People aren't going to be live streamed. You're not going to be recorded doing embarrassing things. It's going to be something that I learned from the first event.
Okay, I'm glad you're getting better at this. That's good to hear, because there was a lot of concern, especially amongst people in my Discord, just about like being doxxed, especially after what happened in December 6th. People are very worried about it, and probably rightfully so. I think at the Houston, this thing that happened in Houston, there was with Nick. I think there was some people that did get doxxed over
Oh,
there.
the
So
CPAC Texas.
yeah, and the CPACs and
Now that's
the CPAC in Texas thing.
That's something I gotta point out for everybody going to these events. If you go to an event with a famous person and there's cameras around, be prepared to get doxxed. That's just how it is. There's cameras everywhere. Dress optical, act optical. Don't drink alcohol while there. Those are just the normal rules. Okay, so like people
Yes,
that they want to
dress
go to these public
nice.
events.
Dress nice.
Yeah,
Dress like American Greyson. If you dress like American Greyson, you'll never go wrong. American Greyson has the most impeccable like dress code. He has these beautiful pinstripe suits. Dress like American Greyson. You'll never go wrong. You'll have great optics as well.
yeah, 100%. If there's cameras going to be there, everybody they need to expect to get doxxed in some way because the enemy that we're fighting, they hate us. They're going to do everything they can to destroy us. So if you don't want to be on camera, if you don't want to get doxxed, don't go to the event. But if you do go, wear a suit, act optical.
Okay. Any questions from you guys now? I'll now turn it over to my audience to see what you guys have to say. I'm curious what questions you might have for American Greyson, either related to the controversy surrounding his White Boy Summer event, or perhaps what happened, the events that unfolded in LA with the anti-pedophile rally. I'm curious if you guys have questions. The entropy link is available for everyone. Let me drop that in chat again. You can also just ask questions through chat as well. Yeah, I may miss them though. So here's one question, or this isn't a question, I guess. There's two super chats from Huffy the Pooper. I don't know who this guy is. if whoever this guy is, if he could let me know in the Discord so I can make sure to give him the waifu role, that would be greatly appreciated. But he just says, hello, AR. And he says this twice. It's the same super chat. Twice. I really appreciate it. It's a big super chat, so thank you, man. He says, hello, AR. Why is Zizan so annoying? Oh, I'm sorry. There's two different super chats. One says, why is Zizan so annoying? And the other says, hello, AR. Why is Tucker so annoying? So both those questions, I would have to say, I don't know. And then he posts a bunch of emojis. What emoji is this? It's like the eye rolling emoji. So thank you for that. Very relevant to today's conversation. Sorry, American Greyson. We got such a large super chat, so thank you to the pooper. To Huffy the pooper, but unfortunately that's not a question for you, so let's see if other people here have questions that are more related to what we talked about this afternoon. Yeah, Z and Tucker are good friends of the show. They probably watch Greyson, American Greyson as well, so I don't know what you mean. I don't know why they're annoying. I'm not sure what you think I meant by
Isn't
that.
it pronounced Zizens?
Is it Zizens?
I don't know. He's got to chime in. Tell us how to pronounce it.
Yeah, he's just gonna join VC real quick. He'll let us know. Yeah, if other people who are waifu role or who donate want to join voice chat and ask American Greyson questions directly, that is something that is available to them. It's something that I don't do too often, but that is something.
Now or never.
Yes, if you have questions and you want to ask him through voice chat, and if you are a donator and you're in the Discord, you are more than welcome to do so. Just let me know through the text chat, and I'll just add you in here. Now, let me just see if I can just scroll through the timeline to see if anyone has any questions for you. It doesn't look like it. So how is just in general, how has life been for you, sir? Are you busy
it's been so
with
stressful.
all these rallies? Is work still pretty stressful right now for you?
Yeah, I have so much video to go through, and just editing all of it down to I could just put it all together in one long clip, but it'd be boring, and it would be hard to understand. It's just putting it into a small enough format, 20 or 30 minutes, and having like a story in a way, to help the audience understand what's happening as it happens. So it's just a lot of work doing that. It's a lot of footage to go through.
I bet. So we appreciate you taking the time to do that. Doing aggressive, great, tremendous service. Writing this documentary, really very eye-opening to see how they treated these pastors, these people who care about God, very sincere Christians. Just the way that they're treated by Antifa. I think it's going to open a lot of eyes. So once you get that documentary up, let us know. We'll try to plug it in social media and wherever we can. I look forward to watching it myself for sure. King Royp, he asks, thoughts on Smiley? Did you see him IRL?
Is that for
Smiley,
me or you?
I've never seen him IRL, so I assume it's for you.
Yeah, I've never seen him IRL either. I don't think so. I don't really recognize him or know him.
For those who don't know, let me pull up the Twitter. I just tweeted about him actually today. I didn't understand what the controversy was until I started going through his Twitter account. Apparently, this guy named Smiley, he's just a really young guy. He's kind of awkward, kind of autistic, and so people like to make fun of him for that, giving him a hard time, which is unfortunate because we're all autistic in some way or another. So it's been kind of disparaging. They were also making fun of the way this guy dressed, he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt or something like that, which it's not really that big of a deal. But here's let me show some of the people at home. Let's see here. So yeah, this is Smiley right here.
IP2 always wins. What's up, kings? It's your boy Smiley out here doing.
Anyway, he's kind of has a funny, very amicable demeanor. Seems like a happy-go-lucky guy. So I support him. I think he seems like a nice guy. He seems like a cool guy. Someone I could hang out with.
Yeah, he was at APU, right? The APU thing with Wuza.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems all right.
He's really young. He's 20, says King Ripe. Well, that's only 1 year younger than me, so can't be too young. 20s, like when I think young, I think like 17 or younger, like high school. If you're still in high school, because I'm only 21. But American Grayson, how old are you? You're like 50. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm like 50 now. No,
Like
I'm 32.
32. Okay, so American
Yeah.
Grayson's, he's a veteran, so we look up to him. Take his advice seriously. If you're a young person and you're trying to get in the movement, he's very wise. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, buy a suit, you guys. Don't show up in a yellow shirt with your man titties hanging out.
Who was
Like
that?
Frank. What was that? That was Frank. Something
Frank.
like
Okay, I heard about Jordan
yeah.
B. Right, he was drunk on the floor.
Yeah, that's another rule of mine that Jordan B decided to disobey. Don't get drunk in front of cameras or around famous people.
Disobey who?
Don't break my rules. Always wear a suit.
Oh,
Don't drink
disobey
in front of
your
the camera.
rules. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see what you're saying. I thought
Yeah,
I thought he was told by like security or something he wasn't allowed to drink.
I
Okay.
told him after the live stream incident. I messaged him. I'm like, Jordan, don't ever drink if you're on camera. Period. I mean, it's fun to
Mhm.
get drunk. Okay, yeah, we all drink a little bit. Probably not you, but you
Oh,
know,
you're
he
right.
likes to. Yeah,
Try
he
not to
likes
get
to.
wasted. Try not
He
to
likes to have a
slosh, but
drink.
yeah.
Yeah, he likes to have a drink, but rule of thumb: never drink when you're going to be on camera or around famous people. It's going to go a very long ways if people follow that rule.
A simple rule, but it's very important. Yes, drinking has kind of this air of unprofessionalism, so make sure that you save it for home, save it for your own private parties. Or if you're me and doing a stream and you got to make it fun, then maybe it's a little content juice. But yes, like American Grayson said, don't drink when you're in front of famous people, in front of cameras. Not good optics. And he looked like a fool, and he was like, I think he was like passed out on the ground, right, or something like that.
Oh, from
I
the
heard from
live
people.
stream?
That's
From the
what
live stream a
someone
while
told me.
ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yes.
bad. I mean, it
Okay.
would have been funny if it was a party and they weren't live streaming because it's like your friend and you're like, he drank too much. But I mean, that went out to tens of thousands of people, so really embarrassing.
Yikes. Okay. Yeah, so don't do that. Great advice there. Let's see if anyone else has anything to say. Doesn't look like it, so I'll check the entropy link real fast. Alright. It's just from the Huffy guy. Alright, well thank you, American Grayson, again for coming
Yeah.
on. I really appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me on. I mean, being able to plug the upcoming mini doc, I mean, that's going to be epic whenever I get it done.
I'm excited for it. So you have the mini doc coming up. Just to wrap up here about the LA protests.
Yeah.
Both of them are going to be included, right? Footage from both of them.
Yep.
All right. So look forward to that. And then make sure that you guys follow and join American Grayson on Telegram. He's on Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. What is it? Pure Politics on YouTube?
Yep.
Pure
And
Politics
it's
on YouTube.
official Pure Politics on Telegram.
Okay. Official Pure Politics Telegram, Pure Politics on YouTube. Make sure to support this guy. He's doing great work. He's a great member of the Anime First community.
Thank you.
One of a very friendly guest here on the show. We go back, so I appreciate you coming on again. I wish you the best of luck with the documentary, and I hope my audience keeps an eye out for it so that we can plug it once it comes out.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, thank you, American Grayson. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me just. There we go. Okay. So thank you to American Grayson. I'm glad he was able to join us today. That was awesome. All right. So, any questions for me before we wrap things up? KG is my friend. Z hates you though, says Tucker. I'm not sure what's going on in chat, but in any case, guys, I really appreciate you guys tuning in today for this stream with American Grayson. I'll try to be back tomorrow for Theology Hour. We're going to probably continue with our conversation about the Latin Mass. I think it's a great time to return to that subject. With everything going on with Pope Francis, I think it'd be a great opportunity to return to dissecting and trying to understand the symbols of the Latin Mass and how that relates to our faith, and how the Mass is the Mass of all time. So thank you guys again for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and American Greyson's YouTube channel, Pure Politics. And I hope you guys stay awesome.